Let's begin in the world of real estate. Many would-be home buyers struggle to explain to the real estate agents exactly what kind of home they're looking for. The problem can be especially trying for seniors, who may not be aware of the great variety of living situations and home designs that are now on the market. Here's an introduction to what a senior real estate specialist can offer.
Phyllis and Charles Orenyo have spent 21 happy years at their home in Metuchen, New Jersey. Both are now retired and can spend a lazy afternoon on their back porch with their cat, Merlin. But as much as they love their home, the Orenyos don't plan to spend the remainder of their retirement years here.
When my knee was bad and I was having difficulty doing stairs, I really started to think about quality of life issues.
Charles Orenyo also has health issues. He recently had a hip replacement. With multiple staircases in their home, a chore such as washing clothes in their basement laundry room will become harder to do as they age. And then there are New Jersey's taxes. The Orenyos pay $8,000 in property taxes every year.
Among the taxes, the cost of living, and especially the traffic. The traffic is miserable through this area. We decided that our future is not here.
The Orenyos have scheduled a meeting with Kathy Sperl-Bell, a real estate agent in Delaware who comes with an added bonus.
I'm what's called a seniors real estate specialist, and that means that I decided to specialize in working with boomers and beyond.
Kathy is one of 15,000 certified senior real estate agents in the United States today. With 78 million boomers set to retire over the next few years, an SRES certification has become a must-have real estate credential.
I think the key points, we understand what their issues are, what the questions are going to be. We understand that it's going to take some time for them to make a choice. We understand how to present the different options, give them things to think about.
I think she has a lot of insight as to the different kinds of topics that you might want to cover, so that if I don't think of something to ask, she would know to bring it up. And so that gives me a good deal of comfort to know that. I think she sees the whole picture as opposed to, let me just show you a house.
You were not totally decided whether you were interested in an age-restricted community or not, right? But you were looking for some...
The Orenyos are like a lot of retirees today who want to stay close to family. They also want a one-level home that will be easier to navigate as they age. And they want a better cost of living.
Did you see the taxes? This house is a two-story.
Today, Kathy is going to show the Orenyos an active adult community in Delaware. The Orenyos aren't very familiar with the state, so Kathy will also drive them around the area.
You're starting way back. I mean, it's almost like being a tour guide for a while. You have to really educate them about, I feel a responsibility to almost just kind of show them around at first and say, do you like it? You can see a lot of the corner countertops are included.
During a tour of the community's model home, Kathy points out all the amenities that assist people as they age, including one that's very important to the Orenyos.
First floor laundry.
The Orenyos were pleased with their meeting with Kathy, but this is just the beginning of their search for their perfect retirement home.
We never had a specific deadline or timeline. I would guess that it would probably be within the next year. And I think it's going to be based more on when we find the right house.
That's something senior real estate specialists need to have, patience with their clients.
So part of going back to what's different when you're a seniors real estate specialist, it's not instant gratification. You have to be in the business for the long haul. Some of the people that are looking may not buy for a year, 2 years, especially boomers. Boomers are planners. So boomers are going to come, they're going to look, they're going to come back, they're going to look again. They have to feel it a little bit, try it on.
Fortunately for seniors, most senior real estate specialists cost no more than a real estate agent who doesn't have an SRES. And some seniors say they can't put a price on the added value that these specialists offer. Newlyweds Jack and Mary McKinley also used Kathy Sperl-Bell's services. Jack is 78 and Mary is 71. Both had been widowed for several years before they met each other. When they first met Kathy, they weren't sure what kind of services she could provide.
I specifically asked her, what did she do as a specialist, because we didn't know. But it sounded like the right thing, that we needed someone with really proper training.
Well, most of the realtors we've dealt with or talked to are talking in generalities, and many of them are just geared to the younger, big McMansions that they're building today and those types of things that is not our bag. So Kathy was dealing strictly with people in our age group, with the types of facilities that we were interested in, and it just wasn't any wasted time or anything else. She knew what we were talking about, and we knew what she was talking about.
That mutual understanding led the McKinleys to purchase a new home in an active adult community in Delaware.
It saved us a lot of pain, because we were so tired of looking and deciding.
Like the Orenyos, the McKinleys are benefiting from the way the real estate field is changing to serve the needs of America's growing senior population. Now they can put more of their energy into enjoying their golden years together.
Here to tell us more about senior real estate specialist is Kathy Sperl-Bell herself. Ms. Sperl-Bell is accredited buyer representative and a senior real estate specialist with RE/MAX Realty Group in Lewes, Delaware. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me the difference between, what makes the difference between a senior real estate specialist and a normal real estate agent?
Well, as a realtor, only a realtor can become a seniors real estate specialist, number one. And then you go to a training class that really focuses not just on the sort of marketing to the seniors, but also on how to provide them with different services they might require. We try to form relationships with accountants that might be able to help them, or financial advisors, or attorneys that specialize in working with seniors. So we try to get a whole kind of a group going that we can refer people to, as well as just...
So do you also learn when you go for your training about the physiological changes that happen with aging that they may need to look out for if this is their last home, per se, that they'll be living in before they might move to a smaller place?
Well, we try to understand what they're going to be looking for. And there is no one-size-fits-all.
Sure.
So you really need to understand how to draw people out. And a lot of them may have lived in the same home for 30, 35 years. So they're not used to buying and selling real estate.
Now, you know, I know in 2002 there were only 5,000 specialists, and now I understand there are 15,000. So clearly you offer some very special services. Besides, you know, knowing more about the community and what the community that has to offer, what are some other services that you offer?
Well, I think we offer a lot of planning tools, ways for them to think ahead, think through the different options, look at the different kinds of communities. Do they want to live in a real town? Do they want to live in an active adult community? Do they want age restricted, or do they want a community where all ages will be there? So,
yeah, I know they talk a lot about transition and how transition is such a challenge for mature adults. What are the things that you feel that seniors should do to prepare, not only, you know, obviously packing and moving, but from a mental health perspective for a big move like this?
Well, I think they need to realize that just because they're getting to retirement age, they're not going to become different people. So the things that they like to do are things they're still going to like to do. You know, if they want access to libraries and they want access to arts and culture, they shouldn't move somewhere that's 100 miles away.
That's a great point. What about process? 15,000 specialists. How do I find one?
Well, there is an organization, and the organization has a website, seniorsrealestate.com, and you can actually look up by zip code. You can look up by state and find a seniors real estate specialist.
Before we close, I understand a lot of seniors actually move across country, realize that they're not happy there, and then move back. What are some of the reasons why people sort of move back to where they come from?
Well, we have a lot of people moving back from Florida or Arizona, places that used to be considered the retirement location. They miss their family, they miss their grandchildren, they miss friends, and especially here for us in the Mid-Atlantic area, they want to stay where they're within a couple of hours of being part of, you know, still part of their life.
That's great information. Thank you so much for being here. We
Thanks.
appreciate it very much.